Greetings YouTube, my name is Inquisitor Ozzy on Overlip and welcome to my channel. Today is April 24th, 2000, sorry, Monday, April 24th, 2023, 11:15 p.m. If you guys, for anybody that's been following my channel or even checking up on it, you would have heard me talking about how I plan on doing all vehicle let's plays until I'm tired of them, or until my list or so of games is complete, or until I can complete at least half of that list. And that's what I was supposed to be working on this year, but I've kind of taken a break from that. I completed about 3 or 4 vehicle games. I'll get back to that. Right now I'm just trying to do some gaming and just relax and play some games regular without recording. But this is going to be a response video to a guy on YouTube named Foxxy, or a channel on YouTube named Foxxy. Yeah, just Foxxy, Foxxy. He was talking about, I was watching one of his reviews, his review on this game that I'm playing right now, Conflict Denied Ops. And I usually don't do spur of the moment videos like this, but again, that's why I bought a capture card, so in case I ever wanted to, and in case I wanted to do some let's plays, I could do that right there as well. I think the last video I responded to, not that it needed a response, but the last game review that I responded to was excuse me, gaming, I think it was Gaming Pastimes. It was somebody who was reviewing Black, and they said it was like one of the best first-person shooters from the 6th generation. So I did a response to that video. It was like 2 or 3 videos, and that was like 6 or 7 years ago. Excuse me. And my allergies are kicking in. But anyway, let me get to the point. He's reviewing a game, or he reviewed a game called Conflict Denied Ops, the game I'm playing now. And so I think I've seen this review before, but it says, the video says 1 year ago, but I think I've seen this review like years ago. But anyway, he calls this game, the video is called Conflict Denied Ops, the franchise killer, which is, I guess, maybe implying that this game killed the franchise, which I don't agree with. I don't know for a fact, but I don't agree with that right there. I think the Conflict series on the 6th gen, you know, Conflict Desert Storm 1, Conflict Desert Storm 2, Conflict Vietnam, and Conflict Global Terror, I think those games killed the franchise. They were some of my favorite games, some of the best, you know, tactical, or whatever you want to call them, games. But you know, those games were never really popular, so I think the lack of popularity that the Conflict games had, that as a whole, the whole series, I think that's what kind of helped their developer, Pivotal Games, go out of business. But who knows? And I think Denied Ops was just, you know, I think that was just like their farewell or whatever, because I mean, come on. I think they already knew the conflict denied ops wouldn't do well. I mean, because to say they had no idea that it would do as bad as it did. I mean, come on, they know what they're making. They know graphics and or whatever. So I don't agree with that opinion about how this game is the franchise killer. I think they were already on their way out. Similar to how before pandemic went out of business, they were able to release like 3 games or something like that. I think Destroy All Humans, Destroy All Humans, Path of the Furon, Mercenaries 2 for 360, and also the Saboteur. And I think, who knows? But I think they were already on their way out. And so, in this review, he's talking about how the game, he's, I don't know how to put it, but one thing he criticizes about the game is the fact that there's no cover system. So let me just educate you guys real quick on some on shooters. The cover system in games, first of all, the shooter genre isn't built off cover systems. It's built off of strafing, left and right, or circle strafing, depending on the type of game it is. The shooter genre isn't based off cover systems, or based on cover systems, and it probably never will be. Games don't need cover systems. Strafing is just fine. People don't understand. People, I don't know how to put it, but like some people that want cover systems in games, it's like they don't understand that strafing is cover. The environment is your cover. You just have to use it. You know, and a lot of times, like, I mean, this game, I will admit that there are a few poor mechanics here and there in the game, in this particular game. So adding a cover system and expecting it to be, to work, to be 100% functional or whatever, it would just make it worse, because the game is fine the way it is. You don't need a cover system, especially in a first-person shooter, because a lot of times with cover systems, you're locked into a specific position, and you only have specific movement left and right and around your cover. Well, with this game not having a cover system, you have more movement, you have more freedom. You can angle yourself however you want to angle yourself to take shots. You don't have to be in one set position, So I like the fact that he mentioned that there's no cover system in a first-person shooter. I mean, how many first-person shooters have cover systems? And when this game came out, 2007 or 8, how many first-person shooters had cover systems back then? Not a lot. I mean, I guess you could say, what was that game? Quantum of Solace. That came out pretty early on 360 and the PS2 version. There's a cover system there, but I think cover systems in first-person shooters, they're not really needed. You don't need them. You don't need to be locked into a certain position, because once you start playing it on higher difficulties and the enemy starts getting more aggressive, you don't want to be locked in, because a lot of games, enemies don't hang back when the difficulty's up past normal or even at normal. Sometimes the enemies just rush right in, and you don't want to be locked in to a wall and have to click a stick or press a button to get out of that cover. You don't want that right there. People have to realize, like, cover in games, it's it's more of a tool than a feature. It shouldn't be a feature. It should just be a tool that you use to keep from getting shot. It's just a tool, like being able to crouch. I got a feature tool, whatever. It shouldn't be something. It shouldn't be like a main ingredient to a shooter, or even like a feature, like on the back of the box. Ooh, cover system. No, cover should just be a tool. Just like strafing's a tool. Circle strafing. Uh, Whatever. Just movement. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But so cover systems and first-person shooters shouldn't be shouldn't be there. Even in third-person shooters, like I was playing Infernal, Hell's Vengeance, and that game is a cover system, and it locks you in place. Like this sucker is. I mean, I guess you could say that's a bad game. I don't consider it bad, but I consider it pretty decent. But you got so much freedom, especially in third-person shooters. Just being able to crouch and just move along objects. You got so much more freedom. Another thing about the cover system, why this game doesn't need it. This game, how can I put this? It kind of has the two-weapon rule, something I like in games when it's done correctly. And enemies usually go down pretty quickly. I mean, it may take one or two more shots. It may take more than one or two shots to bring them down. But usually, with a game like this, that's pretty much a corridor shooter. There's a few outdoor environments. They go down pretty quickly. So with this type of game, you don't even really need it when enemies go down. And it with a decent amount of shots. Also, there's a lean function. So not only do you have the strafing, there's a lean feature. You don't need it. One of the characters, this character right here that I'm using, he can use his gun. Hang on a second. This character's sniper rifle has a feature to where you stand next to a piece of cover and you press the left directional button, and his sniper rifle has a camera on it, so you can just aim the gun, out of cover, and just see everything. So that's another reason why you don't need a cover system. Watch this. Where's that? Sniper rifle. See? And you can do all of this without exposing yourself. So, just because the game doesn't have a cover system or cover mechanic, doesn't mean there aren't cover options. And again, enemies, like I said, enemies go down with a decent amount of shots. Now, this character
following
right here,
your lead. Let's roll.
he also has a lean. So you just lean out. Now with that, you have to press the D-pad. I actually like the lean feature in games. It's good for a lot of what I like to call twitch shooters, which there aren't many. Games to where games where maybe you can't heal yourself, where you have to keep the same amount of health for entire levels or whatever, and you got to be really precise. That's good. Now some games have it to where you hold down a button, like in Shadow Ops, Red Mercury, or Combat Road to Iwo Jima, or Combat Road to Berlin, or Combat Task Force. Those games you hold down, I think the left trigger. Some people call it the fine aim button, or the precise aim button. In those games, you hold down the left trigger and you just move the left stick, and you can just, that's a lot better because you're not really being locked into anything, and with that you can kind of take cover anywhere. Whereas with a game with a cover system or a cover mechanic, you got to take cover in specific areas, near boxes or near walls or near waist high objects. So let's see. What else did he mention? I'm trying to think here. You mentioned the fact that you don't get a lot of weapons and you can't pick up enemy weapons. Well, I mean, it would be nice, but that's kind of a pointless statement because you can't pick up enemy weapons, but you hardly ever run out of ammo in this game. There's like ammo crates scattered through the levels, so the only reason to pick up their weapon would just be to add weapon variety to the game. And so you don't really run out of ammo like that. So there really isn't a need to. And actually, you have like 4 weapons. This character I'm using right now, this black guy, I guess his name is.
You got point. Move out, up front and center. I'm on it.
Lang. He has this weapon right here. So that's one weapon. If you press Y, this upgrade comes later on, like after like mission 1 or 2. If you press Y, he has a grenade launcher. And like I said, this isn't a game to where enemies take a lot of bullets to bring down. A few good shots, especially with grenades, like you shoot that thing in a room full of enemies, you're good. You got plenty of ammo. What's the point of going in there and picking up their their weapon? Just for what? Plus, throughout the entire conflict series, aside from this game, you've been able to do that. So it's not like they couldn't do it or whatever. So you actually have this weapon, the grenade launcher. So that's 2 weapons actually. And then you have his sidearm. Then you have his rocket launcher. Well, and last mission was a grenade launcher. Now it's a rocket launcher. So that's 3 weapons for this guy right here. And then
over to you, Graves. Okay, stay sharp.
For Graves, you have the sniper rifle, and if you press Y, you get a shotgun under attachment. So that's 2 weapons for Grave. And then he has just a regular handgun, silenced 9mm. So yeah, there's very little weapon variety, but at the same time, the areas where this game falls short, if there's an area this game falls short in, and there are some, there are other areas that help it, that pick up the slack. One thing I like about games is shooters, it's a good sound design, and I mean like environmental stuff, like just being able to hear your footsteps, being able to hear wind blowing, being able to hear, and a lot of games don't get this right here, from the 7th gen to the 6th gen to the whatever gen is current right now, enemy footsteps. I want to hear what the enemy's doing. I want to hear. And in this game, you can actually hear them. You can hear them talking to each other. You can actually hear the footsteps. I know it sounds like it's nothing, but like really think about how many games you can hear that kind of stuff in. And most people don't care anyway. Like I guess most people like they turn the music up and they just play the game. I never play shooters with music. I like to hear what's going on. I like to just immerse myself as much as possible. So the immersion in this game is really good. It's really good. And as a corridor shooter, I dare say it's better than it's at least top 10. Well, let's say this top 10 in terms of when it comes to low budget shooters. He said that there's no tactical. There's no. This game isn't really tactical like the other games. The other games are kind of tactical. They're as tactical as you want them to be. Yeah, you put the difficulty up on hard or normal, and you gotta watch what you're doing. You gotta pay attention. Some people think that if it isn't so calm or if it isn't like a game that people consider tactical or that's established as a tactical game like Fire Emblem or something like that, they think that there's no tactics involved at all. There's strategy in first person shooters and third person shooters. Maybe not that much, but there's you know there are certain considerations that have to be made. And I'm playing this game on hard, and you can't just run out into the open like and just do whatever you want to do and just shoot enemies. And I guess you could say that about a lot of shooters, but there are some tactical considerations, especially that there's two players, like there's two of you, and there's you and then there's the AI, which you can switch between, and that's tactical right there. You know, especially since you can only use each character can only use a certain amount of weapons. You know, they can only use excuse me. Uh, they can only use the weapons they have. So you got to be pretty tactical. Like, you know, if you're going to go out, if you're thinking about if you're coming to an area we have to get out, we have to go out to the open. It's best to use your sniper to just scan the area first, you know, and just pick off whatever you can before just rushing out there. You know, there's certain things like that. There are other games you don't really have to consider like that. You know, games like Halo or whatever, you go into an area, you start shooting. You go into an area, you start shooting. Not always, you know. You can look around and you know, try to devise a strategy or something like that. But there are some minor tactics in this game. There are. What else is there? He said the shooting is weak. I don't know about that. Oh, okay, here we go. Right on cue. Oh well. But he said the shooting is weak, which I disagree with. He said the enemies take a lot of shots to bring down. I disagree with that to a certain point. Enemies far away, if you're not aiming directly at their head or whatever, they take a lot of shots to bring down. With the sniper, sometimes enemies take a lot of shots to bring down as well. But with that being said, when you shoot an enemy and you hit them, they'll actually stop and like recover themselves or try to recover. As they recover, you can shoot them again. Which, you know, and some shooters, especially I'm not sure about the shooters for the newer system, but like for this generation and other shooters, you shoot an enemy and you don't kill him, he's just running away. He's not even slowing down. He may slow down for a second, but that's about it. But usually in this game, you hit someone square and you don't kill them, they're gonna take like 1 or 2 seconds to like compose themselves, and while they're doing that, just pop them again. You know, so it's a nice little stun feature in the game. You just shoot them, they're they're trying to recover, and you just hit them a few more times, and they go down. What else is there? Let's play a little bit. Let's see.
Heads up! Huh? He's down!
See how I hit him? I mean, he should have been dead with that headshot, but you see how I hit him, and he was dazed. He was kind of wobbly, and I got him again. So if it takes more than one shot to get someone, then that's fine. If you hit them and they're dazed, just shoot them again. It's not a big deal. You know, and there are minor considerations to be made. Like before I go down these steps, I could take the sniper I have and just sit him at the top of the steps, or keep him elevated and use Lang to go down there and clear it out while my sniper covers me from the roof or from the top. You know, there's all kinds of stuff you got to consider. You know, just because you play a game and you don't use tactics doesn't mean that the game isn't tactical. So let's try that. So I'll set him, my sniper, right here.
Take point. Let's roll. Could do with some help here.
And I use Lang. I have to stand right there.
Get moving. Moving. Okay, done. Reinforcements incoming.
Oh, reinforcements. I probably
One new
should.
target. Hey, target down.
See how quick that was? Not a lot of bullets to bring him down. Head on.
Up and clear. Move and fire. Hostile.
Oh, come on. Okay, for the record, he took a lot of shots to bring down. He's still alive. It's okay.
I've taken some hits. I need backup. Now. Moving! Target eliminated. Reloading. Cover me. Target ahead. Form on me. Roger, regrouping.
That was a bad throw. Yeah, I thought there would be enemies in there. thought it was like an office area or something. I didn't do too well there. I didn't die, but yeah, the game's not that bad. This game has kind of a special place in my heart because I played this game before playing any of the conflict games on PS2, and this was the first game that the first and only game that my ex from a long time ago purchased for me. I could have bought it myself. She was like, "Let me buy you a game," and I was like, "Okay." And I picked this one, and I've had it for years. Never really played it that much. I let's played it on my channel and completed, but I deleted it a while ago. Never played as much as I should. Never really appreciated it like that. Uh, it took a while, like of me just playing more and more shooters, and just experiencing more and more ways of playing shooters and stuff like that, for me to appreciate this game right here. Now this game isn't perfect. This game has quite a few instances where like you're in the center of an area and you got to defend against waves of enemies, wave after wave after wave of enemies, and that can be frustrating. Like this game has some extremely frustrating moments. I'm not saying it's perfect all the way through. It is, but it isn't as bad as most people say it is. In fact, it's better than most, if you ask me. Like, not 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 like head and shoulders, but like not like head and shoulders above the competition, but just like as far as the basics and just good corridor shooting, uh, just good shooting, period. It's pretty good, and the fact that there's another player or that there's another AI, it helps a lot because he takes out quite a bit of enemies. And I know there's Army of Two, but I don't really consider Army of Two. I don't know. I'm not saying this is better than Army of Two, which it probably is. It's probably better than at least one of their games. Because the thing with Army of Two that kind of ruins it is that it's not really realistic. It doesn't need to be. How can I put this? It's too over the top to really even be in a conversation of whether that game is better than this game or not. This game goes for a kind of a realistic feel, somewhat. Whereas Army of Two goes for like a more over the top feel. I mean, yeah, when you're killing regular enemies, it's regular shooter, but then you got the enemies that have like armored mask and like all this body armor and stuff like that. I guess that's realistic too, but I think this game does a few things, gets a few things, does a few things better than Army of Two, at least part one. I'm not saying this one game is better than all of the Army of Two games, but as a buddy shooter or whatever you want to call it, this game's pretty good. What else is there? I really need to write this stuff down. I think that's about it. I wanted to talk more about cover systems. But I'm really bad at not writing my ideas down. Well, I guess that's it. I'll make another video if I have anything else I want to say. I just wanted to make this one video just to clear the air. Well, not clear the air, just to respond, because for people complaining about or saying how this game doesn't have a cover system. It's like, well, it kind of does. It does with the lean and with the strafing, but most people, I don't know. I'm done. The lip has spoken.